Hello and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Show. This episode was recorded at the International Franchise Show at the Excel. So although we use some really good microphones, there is some background noise going on, there's some announcements going on because obviously it was a really busy show. But the content is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed recording these interviews and I hope you enjoy watching/listening to them as well. Enjoy.
International Franchise Show at the Excel, and I have been joined by Paul Lewis from Pitman Training. Paul, it's great to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. How are you finding the show this year?
I would say busier. So we come to this show every year, and it's distinctly busier than the last couple.
Okay.
And I would say a more serious type of person as well. So we've had some really good conversations so far. It's early days. We've got the rest of today and tomorrow. So yeah, pleasing so far.
Excellent. So on the topic of more serious inquiries and that kind of thing, what kind of franchisee would work best with a Pitman Training?
It's a great question, and unlike some franchisors, we don't have strict prerequisites. Somebody who identifies as a business person, that's important. They don't have to have been self-employed before, but it would be helpful. But they need to be super passionate about helping people. We're in the education business, so you're going to be part of your community, you're going to be benefiting your community, enriching people's lives. So somebody who cares about people, but doesn't need to be from a teaching background. That can be quite a common misconception. Oh, do you need to have teaching or education background? No, do you know, and I keep this quiet, but teachers, teaching professionals don't always make great business people. They can, there'll be exceptions, but typically they don't translate to business people. But anybody who's passionate about sales and marketing, I think that probably goes across a lot of franchises as well. If you're not passionate about sales marketing, I would say regardless of the product, you might find it hard. So somebody who likes business, cares about people, passionate about sales and marketing, that would be my kind of 101.
Okay. And someone joining Pitman, what do they do? What will they be starting to do in their new venture?
Day in the life of a Pitman franchisee. So I guess keeping it really, really simple, you've got the community outreach. You've got to let people know who you are and where you are. So we call that Own Your Town. So Pitman's an incredible brand. We've been around for nearly 200 years. So our brand reputation is really strong.
You don't look old enough.
No. But Sir Isaac himself founded the business back in 1837, and we continue that legacy, and we're so proud to be continuing that legacy even now. So the reason I'm saying that, Steph, is we get over 1 million visitors to our website every year.
Okay.
We generate about 40,000 digital inquiries for our franchise. So that works out about 500 or 600 per location before they've lifted a finger, right?
Yeah.
So the reputation is strong. However, you have to own your town locally. So we expect our franchisees to use all of our marketing resources to bang the drum, be part of the community, sponsor things, get involved with things, community projects, charities, job centres, you name it, recruitment firms. Let people know what you're about. Local inquiries to compound those website inquiries.
Yeah.
And then you've got an incredible, profitable business.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So in terms of sponsorship, what kind of things do your network sponsor?
I guess it's relevant things. It could just be the local football team, having Pitman on the shirts and the kits and stuff like that. But I would say charities who help people who are unemployed, charities who help maybe retired veterans from the military, charities who help ex-offenders, maybe people who have been through the criminal justice system. We deal with a lot of people who come up against prejudice. So a lot of our students would be from an immigrant background, and prejudice is a real thing. If they haven't got a UK education, we can give them that.
Yeah.
So our average age of student is 37, believe it or not.
Okay.
We're not talking about children or school leavers per se. Our youngest student is 18, our oldest is 85. But the kind of sweet spot is somebody in their 30s to 40s who's maybe been a bit unlucky or underprivileged, perhaps didn't go to college or uni, didn't get the grades they wanted at school, finds themselves in a job they don't enjoy. Could be factory, warehouse, retail, something like this. A low-skilled line of work.
Yeah.
We can give them some skills and give them the training courses to go and get that promotion or go and get a new career that they really want. So
give me a story of someone either that you've helped or someone in the network has helped in that kind of way.
Oh wow, okay, you put me on the spot.
Sorry.
Well, the closest to home would have to be my own sister.
Okay.
So my sister Lara, so she fell out of school. She had a very difficult kind of teenage period. So she went into agency work. She ended up working in a factory, and she was a very good machinist. But for a 20-something-year-old woman, working behind a machine in a factory, she didn't feel very fulfilled. And she would always say to me, "Oh, Paul, you've kind of gone and got a career, and you've upskilled, and I'm still stuck in the factory and I can't get out." She says, "I apply for customer service jobs, office jobs, but nobody takes me seriously because I've got the dirt under my fingernails and all I know is factories and machines."
Yeah.
So she came to Pitman. She did a office skills diploma, and now she is working in an office environment. She's working in a customer service environment. She's left her kind of factory days behind her. So she got prospective employers to take her seriously by investing in her own education. Because I think people have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people expect luck to find them. Oh, well, I hope this is my year, or I need some luck, or someone needs to take a chance on me. But well, you need to invest in yourself. First, you've got to back yourself. And if that means spending 1 or 2 or 3,000 on your own education, you'll get it back tenfold when you get that new job, that new career.
Yeah, definitely. So there's an element, what I'm hearing, Paul, is there's an element of giving back as well. It's not just about the business side of things, but franchisees have this opportunity to give back as well.
And that's really important, Steph, because look, owning any business should be rewarding in different ways, not least financially. Nobody would invest money to lose money or to not make a return. So the Pitman model stands up. It is very good levels of return on investment. But you are right. You also get that kind of extra bonus of helping people. So we've recently introduced, I say recently in the last couple of years, fully fledged cap and gown graduations. We used to give people a certificate and shake their hand and wish them well. But we said, do you know what? These people would never have dreamt that they could graduate with a cap and gown.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that for every single student. And tears in the eyes, and they'll bring their parents and their loved ones, their children sometimes. They'll say, "I never dreamt that I could graduate, that I would, this could happen to me."
Yeah.
So that makes it all worth it, and we, every week, and what's wonderful about that is, bringing it back to a business context, in a training centre, you might have students studying, you might have students or prospective students inquiring while somebody's graduating and, kind of fist bumping and celebrating. So being part of that, if someone was considering signing up and they see this graduation taking place, it kind of rubs off and you get these positive vibes. So we try and create that in our training centres.
Yeah. That sounds really good and really positive and encouraging as well, and that aspirational aspect.
Yes, it is aspirational. Yeah, and we try and celebrate our student success, no matter how big or small. For them, even if they've done a short course, learning how to type. Sometimes we're talking about people who are scared of computers and maybe didn't grow up with those privileges.
Yeah.
So whether it's learning how to type or learning how to program computers or cybersecurity, or our spectrum is pretty wide. We have 250 courses, about 15 different career paths, ranging, as I've said, web development through to digital marketing, legal administration. We cover quite a few bases.
Yeah, it sounds really good. So a franchisee, obviously they're not going to be able to teach all the courses themselves. In terms of building up a team and how, operationally, how would that work for them?
It's a great question, and I think the perception sometimes is that we would have tutors or classes, but with Pitman, everything we do is self-paced, self-learning. So what I mean by that is the curriculum and our learning management system is so robust and so intuitive that anybody can navigate through.
Okay.
We have learning coaches, so as a franchisee, you would employ a course advisor who kind of does what it sounds. They advise people on what course to enroll on.
Yeah.
That is a selling role. And then we have a learning coach, and they're the student support person. So they're like a personal trainer, would be in a gym.
Yeah.
They don't need to know every inch of every course, but they need to know our system. They need to know about the courses. They need to be really motivational, really encouraging.
Yeah.
the learning coach would guide people through their studies. It's self-paced, self-study anyway, so when people log into the My Pitman learning management system, which we're really proud of, they navigate themselves. You've got video, you've got audio, you've got workbooks, you've got quizzes. It's so intuitive, and our product development team are so good at what they do that it just works.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when the curriculum is weak, and I'm not naming anybody, but when the curriculum is weak, you rely on the teacher to translate.
Yeah.
Think about school. We were still using the same dusty textbooks from 30 years ago.
Yeah,
our parents used the same dusty textbooks. But thank God we had wonderful teachers who could interpret and translate. We don't need tutors and teachers because our curriculum is updated weekly. It's,
wow.
you know, and it's so robust that you don't need a tutor.
That's really, really good. It sounds like a lot of work.
It is, yeah, it is. We've got a big team behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And we do whatever we can to support our franchisees and our learners.
So that brings me into my next question in terms of the support that you provide from head office to each of the franchisees. Talk me through that.
Yeah, where to start? So I guess we're, you know, traditional in that we have a franchise development manager, so a coach that's assigned to a cluster of franchise partners, and it's their job to help create the business plan, create the marketing plan, even help with the layout of the centre and, you know, choosing the best location and all of that good stuff in the case of a greenfield. And that's I always call our franchise development managers like an uncomfortable friend. You can't just be supportive and friendly. Sometimes you need to be, you need to put the mirror and say, look, remember your commitments, your objectives, remember your targets. So, uncomfortable friend. And the same way we celebrate student success, we celebrate franchise success as well. So, so that's really, really important. You know, when they enroll their first student or they hit their first, milestone, we want to celebrate that and make a big deal of that. So away from the franchise development manager, we have a fully fledged product development team who develop all the curriculum, the existing, but they bring out new every single year. We bring out new courses and we look at what career paths are going to be hot now and in the future. And we develop our curriculum to kind of match that. We just launched data analytics because that seems to be exploding at the moment. There's jobs, aplenty in data analytics. So that's product development. We've then got customer support. So if our learning coaches or our franchisees get a question they can't answer, then we've got 24/7 customer support team who, you raise a ticket with them and they will give the answer within minutes. We have about a 2-3 minute response time, which is pretty good. And our franchisees rely on that sometimes, especially our new ones. When you've got the experience and you've been around for a few years, you don't need the customer support team as much.
No.
So we have our customer support and then we have our marketing team. And we have the website, which is, as I say, very optimized, and we get great traffic, great inquiry levels there. We build toolkits constantly. It's our job to give assets to the franchisees. If we're asking them to meet us in the middle and do local marketing, we have to give them some really sexy assets. It could be for social media, video content. We do podcasts. We featured on ITV News recently. We do radio advertising. We do Google, of course, Facebook, you name it. We give all these assets to our franchisees so they can do their own local marketing as well. So they're not having to think, what campaign do I run, this week or next week? In fact, this week, where are we? April? We've just gone live in the independent newspaper with a national campaign promoting Pitman Training. So we're expecting our franchisees to piggyback that and shout about it. And there's a special code people can use when they inquire locally. So we try and meet our franchisees in the middle on marketing.
Yeah. And do you find they're quite responsive when you do that kind of thing?
Very. And everybody who's part of Pitman is proud of Pitman to be kind of continuing that legacy and proud. When you mention at a dinner party or a gathering, I'm part of Pitman Training, I own a Pitman Training. Pitman, wow, they've been around forever. Is that the same Pitman that my auntie would have studied or my brother would have studied? And it's we're definitely kind of embedded in British history, which is quite a nice, quite a nice thing to say.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And it's that trust element as well, because you've been around for so long and people know you. that builds trust with, not just with the community, but with anyone looking for a franchise as well. It's like, oh yeah, it's a reputable company, I know who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course we know that not everybody knows about us. There's definitely a generational thing there. People below kind of 25 don't tend to have heard of Pitman Training. That's fine, because our marketing kind of stands up for itself.
Yeah.
We've got a wonderful YouTube channel, for example. We encourage our franchisees to leverage that. We understand different people want to I guess, familiarise themselves with the brand in their way.
Yeah.
Could be scrolling on their phone, it could be going into a centre, it could be hearing about it on the radio, or in many cases it's signing up to your YouTube channel, subscribing and watching all the video content. I often get people meet me or speak to me saying, I feel like I know you, Paul, because you're all over YouTube, you're all over LinkedIn, and I try and set the example for my network.
Yeah.
If I'm expecting them to have a big social media presence or digital marketing presence, I have to kind of practice what I preach.
Yeah. So is that like part of your brand persona online? Do you kind of do that for yourself and then franchisees as well?
Yeah, there's different levels to it, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
You kind of have your own personal brand and your own personality. But I firmly believe that your brand has to have a personality as well.
Absolutely.
And I guess the lines are blurry. Of course, the leadership kind of becomes the brand, and represents the brand. So, yeah, I definitely practice what I preach. I think I've been involved for 3 years now, we were a bit dusty. Up until that point, because we were this old heritage brand, and I think we'd allowed ourselves to get a bit dusty and a bit staid.
Yeah.
So we launched a hell of a lot more video content, a lot more, kind of graphical content, social media. So one example I can give you, Steph, we had about 100 reviews online, which was okay. You can probably trust a brand that's got 100 reviews. We've just hit 2,000.
Wow.
But we've done it in a pretty short space of time, and we're encouraging our students to leave us reviews and leave us, comments and interact on our socials, and we call that user-generated content.
Absolutely,
if we can get our students, our audience shouting about us, it's way more powerful than me or one of our staff saying Pitman's great. If one of our students, our advocates, can say Pitman's great.
Absolutely. I keep trying to tell clients this all the time. User-generated content does speak volumes.
Yeah, and even if it's our franchisees, with a camera phone, taking a selfie video.
Yeah.
So I'm just here with Steph, she's just graduated, just wanted to give her a high five. Anything like that, spontaneous, it doesn't have to be fully polished, fully corporate. I think a lot of our marketing in the past was very corporate, very clinical. But I think, and we've even done tests on our marketing now, one campaign on Facebook with stock imagery, polished, professional, one campaign with amateur student, photographs, and that always performs better.
It always
performs better.
Always
You knew that already.
I knew that. I knew where you were going, and I love hearing things like that because we can say don't use stock imagery till the cows come home.
Yeah.
But it's when someone like you comes along and is like, well, this is the result, and this is why.
But our franchisees, but what if I fluff what I'm saying, or what if I? Don't worry.
You look human.
It's authentic. You look human, and that's the point. We don't have to be fully polished or fully scripted. In fact, I think people see through that. So we try and be authentic. So I'd like to think, and we were actually we were runners-up for an award very recently. It was the Digital Transformation Award with the BFA and HSBC, and we were runners-up, and we were really proud of that because I think 3 years ago when I joined, it's just digital transformation was not our thing.
No.
And we've done a lot of work there, and I think we had to. It was so imperative because, not surprisingly, our curriculum has exploded in the digital sphere. We brought out data analytics diploma last year. It's already jumped into our top 5 bestsellers.
Wow, that's really
in the
good.
space of a year, and that tells me that people have a thirst for digital, a thirst for IT.
Yeah. I think that's the direction that things are moving in anyway, especially when you've got the development of AI and all that kind of stuff. Then
absolutely,
the digital world is where it's all at, isn't it?
No, it's exciting. So we'll continue to develop in that kind of area, our curriculum. We also stay true to our core as well. Pitman's known for typing and secretarial and office skills. We still major on that. And we still get thousands of inquiries for people who do want to become a PA or an office assistant or a executive assistant. virtual assistant is now, very, very popular. So it's interesting how these things kind of evolve and move with the times.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an exciting opportunity for anyone looking for a business that is quite varied, that is not old-fashioned, but has that heritage.
Yeah.
And is moving with the times, and you've demonstrated that in the fact that you've created these new courses, you're opening up your opportunities so that people can find that for themselves.
And what's interesting, Steph, is just in the last year we've doubled our inquiries and our revenue from corporates. So Pitman used to be the destination for a private learner, and we still are.
Yeah.
That's somebody like me or you that decides they want to upskill or change careers. So we still offer that, but we've got a lot more clients now in the corporate space who say, can you boost the productivity of my whole team, or can you teach them all how to be better at Excel or Word, or could be typing or time management. We do a lot of soft skills as well as hard skills. So yeah, we've seen a big rise in corporate clients and seminars and things like this. We're one of the biggest training providers to Amazon, for example. So they offer to all their staff they call it a career choice program. So when you're fed up of working in Amazon, you upskill and you pursue a different career. So we're one of the biggest providers for that, and we're one of the bigger providers to the NHS as well, but on a local trust level, which works beautifully with our franchisees.
Yeah.
There's no sense in kind of trying to strike a deal nationally with the NHS, it's too big.
Yeah.
But locally, if you make friends with the NHS Trust, support them, maybe do some pay it forward projects, maybe some free training for their staff. It will come back around. So we encourage our franchisees to do that level of marketing and relationship building locally, because clerical staff in the NHS, if they can be faster typing, typists, if they can be more organised, the NHS use Microsoft like pretty much everybody. So if you can be faster and more adept with Microsoft, you can be better at your job, or maybe be stand out for that next promotion as well.
Yeah, but even have the confidence to do what you're doing as well, which is a massive part of being able to do what anyone's doing.
Absolutely.
Paul, thank you so much for your time. If anyone wanted to find out about Pitman Training, where would they go?
Where would they go?
Already mentioned YouTube, but...
Yeah, so you could go to our YouTube channel, which is Pitman Training. I don't think there's another one. But you could go to our franchise website, which is pitman-franchising.com. And that would take you to our franchising website. But we've got a Pitman Training Facebook page, Pitman Training LinkedIn page, Pitman Training Twitter and Instagram. So you'll be able to find us. And we're happy to take inquiries and have those conversations.
Excellent. And finally, in terms of we've still got part of today and all of tomorrow. What are you hoping to get from the show?
I think just more conversations. We've had a number of inquiries. If we can get more serious inquiries, that would be great. We've got about 80 locations around the UK and Ireland. We want to get to about 100.
Okay.
And then we know that would be about our limit. That's every major town and city.
Wow.
So I guess my sort of hope would be to find those 20 remaining territories, those 20 remaining franchisees, to kind of fill our map and get us to our target, really.
Excellent. Sounds really exciting and really good.
Thank you, Steph.
Thanks for coming to talk to us.
My pleasure. Thank you.